friends, it's Aki Dearest. Forgive my voice, I'm just coming down from laryngitis, but I am just well enough to speak on this topic because Halloween is already done and I feel like I really wanted to talk about this while I still kinda can. So over a week ago, there was an event in the middle of Tokyo, specifically Shibuya, which is basically like Times Square of Tokyo. It's where the famous intersection is, it's where all of the cool shops are. It's one of the most touristy areas in Tokyo. Every year for Halloween, everyone gathers to Shibuya. Everyone wears cosplays and it is chaotic. I want to say that Halloween in Tokyo is equivalent to how Vegas is with New Year's. And weirdly enough, I do go to this every year. As introverted as I am, I feel like Halloween is the one night in the year where I'm willing to push the limits just to experience it, mostly just with friends. And we also know all of the really more chillax places to hang out in Shibuya and try to avoid all of this mess as much as possible. Now, I have made a video on Shibuya Halloween in the past just to show how chaotic this was. There's been people that have toppled over cars. There's been people that have run through the streets naked. It's just... It's an insane night, and I don't know why we do it, but we do. The crazy thing about this event, too, is that this was never really an actual organized event. People in Japan just wanted an excuse to wear their costumes on Halloween and to show it off to the world. And so one day people thought, why don't I wear my costume in the busiest part of Tokyo, Shibuya? And this just caught on, and it just became this event every year. But it was never officially organized by Japan themselves. If anything, they've actually tried stopping it every year. And that's what I want to talk about. This year, Tokyo, for the first time, actually tried to stop Halloween in Shibuya, but they kind of failed. Not completely, but I did think it was a bit naive to think that they could just stop it altogether. So I went to Shibuya a couple times, and when I was there was just this huge sign right outside of the station that says no events for Halloween on Shibuya streets. And then as you're walking through all of Shibuya, there's signs everywhere saying the same thing. They say no drinking, no Halloween, we're banning it. And the closer it was getting to Halloween, they started putting up barricades. They even barricaded this landmark in Shibuya called Hachiko, which is a statue of a dog. And the reason they would barricade this is because it's a landmark that everyone meets their friends at. If you meet someone in Shibuya and you call up a friend and you ask them where to meet you, most of the time people will say this landmark. And so Tokyo knows that, so they tried to block it off. So you can't even see it anymore. They put barricades over it. So this whole time I was thinking, I wonder if this is gonna work, because they're like pushing really hard now. Now, the first question that a lot of people had was, why are they banning the event in the first place? It's a lot of different things. A lot of people were saying it's because of the Halloween tragedy that happened in South Korea. That could be part of it. Other people were saying because it's just getting too chaotic. I honestly think that that's probably more of the latter.
Today, we start in one of Tokyo's best-known tourist destinations, Shibuya. Shibuya's mayor is now strongly urging people not to come to Shibuya. Officials are worried about the possibility of a crowd crush similar to what happened in Seoul last year.
It is getting bigger and crazier each year, and so I think they do want to kind of prevent something like South Korea happening. But to think that no one is going to come and obey the rules, especially for Halloween, is a bit naive if you ask me, because it is just so crazy and so big. Do you really think that people are going to follow the rules? Probably not. We kind of have to be a little bit street smart here. I even put up a post on Twitter and on Instagram asking people if they think that this event is going to go through. Almost everyone said that the sign isn't going to do shit, and guess what? You guys were right. They failed to cancel Halloween. I did have some friends that did go to Shibuya, and I asked them what happened, and I did look up some YouTube videos. Turns out it's still pretty chaotic, but it was a bit more organized than it normally is. They did cut off parts where people could gather around in one space. I think that's them, again, trying to prevent something like South Korea happening. Cops were trying to force the crowd to keep going. They didn't want anybody to stop, because once one person stops, it creates a chain reaction, and that's when you get a crowd of people. And while all of this did work for some time, Halloween still happened and people still did crazy shit. So I'm gonna show you guys this video in Shibuya of these motorcyclists who are going by, and one of them tries to do a wheelie and straight up crashes into the taxi in front of them. Okay, first off, that's not fun to me. I would have probably been like, holy shit, if I saw that in person. But actually, you know what I noticed? People in the taxi, they're actually laughing at this whole thing. I feel like it's because Halloween Shibuya, when you go in, it's already a given that it's going to be chaotic. You're expected to see some crazy shit. So I think people are already mentally prepared to see things like this, but this is what I'm talking about. And then the police comes and gets them in trouble. Goddamn. See, when I go to Shibuya Halloween, I just walk around and enjoy the costumes. Well, I guess I kind of would be lying if I said I wasn't sort of looking forward to the drama happening in Shibuya, but I digress. I actually really feel bad for that taxi driver. Hopefully he got compensated for this. Man, taxi drivers must fucking hate driving through here in Halloween. I can't imagine what it must be like. I feel so bad for them. Even the policeman's like, for fuck's sake. And this looks like it's not even that late in the night. There's a lot of people, which means the trains are still going. It's probably not even midnight yet. So yes, things like this do happen, but for the most part, people are mainly just there just to walk around and enjoy people's costumes and just have a good time. Aside from being sick, another reason I didn't go to Shibuya was because I didn't really know where the police was going to be at. I didn't know if they were legit just going to stop people from coming, in which case I didn't really want to get in trouble with the police. Had I gone, I probably would have gone in my Uber Eats costume, because then I could just go there and they can't arrest me. They won't think that I'm cosplaying. I'll just say that I'm on the job. I didn't go in any costume. I just went to Shinjuku and I just enjoyed a lot of people's costumes. Now again, it wasn't really that chaotic in Shinjuku. Other people were going to other parts of Tokyo, and one of the busier areas was actually a place called Ikebukuro, which is another area of Tokyo not far from Shibuya that people decided to go to because there was already Halloween events taking place. So I think what they thought was, because there's already costume events and Halloween events happening in this part of Tokyo, it's obviously inviting costumes. Let's all just go over there. So at the end of the day, Tokyo did regulate Halloween. People did try to follow the rules if they could, but did they cancel Halloween? Not necessarily. I feel like Halloween in Tokyo is so embedded now into the culture of urban Japan life that you just can't stop it at this point. People will just move to another area. I had a few friends that said that they didn't want to go to Shibuya Halloween because they said, oh, I just don't want to go through an accident of what happened in Korea, which is totally understandable. But at the end of the day, you know, I feel like there's a lot of things like that that happen when it comes to big crowds. There's been death at concerts, but we don't stop all concerts, right? The most important thing is that things have to be regulated more. And with Shibuya Halloween, the problem is that it was never actually an organized event in the first place, which is what I think perpetuated it to become this really chaotic, unorganized night where people just let loose. But what this year has shown is that it can be regulated and you can keep the flow of the crowd moving. But I don't think that you can necessarily cancel Halloween Shibuya. But there's a lot of people that still want it to be canceled because they think it's really dangerous and stupid shit like this happens. To me, I think that's also like canceling New Year's in New York and Las Vegas. It's not gonna happen. It's already dug its grave a little too deep. But you can choose for yourself of whether you'd like to go or not. So let me ask you guys this. Do you think that Shibuya Halloween should still exist? Would you attend Shibuya Halloween if you could? If you do, please go with a group of friends that you can trust. Do not go to this alone. I'm telling you, it's chaotic. One thing I can say is I would not bring your kids to this. Some people do. I don't know why they do that. I feel like it's a recipe for them to get lost. And if you're the type to just not want to do any of this at all, totally understandable. But if you like Halloween, you can still have a Halloween party. That's what Joey and I did. We brought a bunch of friends over. I decorated my whole house to be haunted, and it was really great. The guests loved it. We actually had everyone in costumes. Joey and I were Scooby and Shaggy, and it was great. Halloween is definitely one of, if not my favorite holiday of the year. And as much as I do enjoy going to Shibuya and things like that, I actually think that America plays Halloween the best. I do kind of miss going to proper haunted houses and seeing all of like the house decorations and all of that. Japan doesn't really do it. So those are my thoughts on Halloween, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Wish me luck on my voice, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!